We all reach that point where we have to map out our future. You pick a major, you apply to jobs, and you try to figure out what you're actually going to do with your time. Inevitably, the standard advice from society is the same: make sure you have something to fall back on. Nelson Mandela observed that there is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. A fallback plan often acts as an unconscious program for retreat. By securing a safety net, we quietly give ourselves permission to avoid the friction required to reach our true potential. Actor Denzel Washington rejects the concept of a safety net. If he is going to fall, he wants to fall without anything to catch him. Falling backward into a comfortable backup plan provides a false sense of security, while teaching you nothing about the obstacle that tripped you up. Choosing to fall forward instead ensures that even in a moment of failure, you can see exactly what you are going to hit. Progress requires leaning into the void. Without that intentional risk, you never actually commit to the momentum required to move ahead. Falling forward turns failure into a mechanism for data collection rather than a definitive end. In the classic 9-dot puzzle, the only way to connect every dot with a single line is to draw outside the defined boundaries of the box. Major League Baseball remembers Reggie Jackson for his massive home runs. This legacy exists despite the fact that he struck out 2,600 times, the highest career total in the history of the sport. Thomas Edison worked through 1,000 failed experiments before he reached the functional light bulb. He viewed those first 1,000 attempts as the essential steps toward the 1,001st. Every miss provided the specific data required to succeed. Monumental success is often just the mathematical probability of persisting through enough failure. Washington's own career illustrates this exact trajectory, starting with a period of significant academic failure. At Fordham University, his grades simply took off in their own direction. He carried a 1.8 GPA until the school suggested it might be better if he took some time off. He treated this academic low point as a course correction, eventually pivoting toward acting rather than retreating to a safe career path. The professional path was equally difficult. Early in his career, he auditioned for a Broadway musical, despite the fact that he couldn't sing, and he failed to get the part. He walked out of that theater and immediately began preparing for the next audition and the next, refusing to quit in the face of repeated rejection. 3 decades later, Washington won a Tony Award for the play Fences on Broadway. He received the honor at the Court Theater, the exact same stage where he failed his first audition 30 years prior. Washington argues that while every graduate has the training to succeed, few have the specific guts required to fail. As he puts, if you don't fail, you aren't even trying. Avoiding the temporary sting of failure invites a far more permanent cost. Imagine standing on your deathbed, surrounded by the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential, the talents you never used, and the ideas you never acted on. These figures are angry and disappointed because you could have brought them to life. Now they must go to the grave with you. Every individual has to decide how many ghosts will be gathered around their bed when their time finally comes. Taking risks is the functional mechanism for deploying your gifts, whether that's your time, your money, or your intellect, into the world. Global needs in phrases like Africa, Japan, or your own hometown require the unique talents you possess, from the gift of kindness to the gift of business strategy. Your life will never follow a straight path, and it will involve inevitable moments of loss and embarrassment. To get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Refuse the safety net and fall forward.